What up, motherfuckers?
Hey.
So today, since we're done with football, I know I'm beside myself on that one because I'm like,
Now what?
This blows big time. But the UFL is coming, so maybe we can get into that, and then we'll have to pick new favorite teams because it's a new league with like 16 teams. So
that can be fun.
We'll have to pick teams when it comes. And that's spring football. So,
okay.
But since spring and summer are getting close, we're going to talk about our favorite backyard sports.
Heck
the
yeah.
family, the dumb shit that we either has already been created or we created our fucking selves. So
Yep.
The first one I want to bring up, which is probably one of the most dangerous fucking backyard sports of all time, fucking lawn darts. Who in the hell decided to make a giant fucking needle and throw them at targets with little kids, like, young kids that don't think about that, and it doesn't register that you're throwing like a projectile needle at a fucking
pointing at the end. At that, it's like a snake. It looks like a big steak with wings.
Right. I'm like, I wonder how many cases, like how many kids had to go to the hospital after like their feet and shit being impaled by fucking lawn darts.
Okay, my question would be, how many adults
got hammered and was playing with them things?
Yeah, because I guarantee the kids were being watched. The adults, not so much.
Could you imagine drunk and stoned, and you're just like chilling, watching, and like one of them's real fucked up and throws that motherfucker. And you're just sitting there minding your own business. You got your red Solo cup full of your whiskey. You smoking on a joint. Next thing you know, you got this giant projectile that just went through your fucking foot.
Right?
Or even worse, somewhere else, like your fucking thigh or arm or
maybe
whatever.
That's how testicle toss got made.
Well, testicle toss isn't quite like that. And testicle toss is newer. Like lawn darts has been around for.
I had to. You just set that up. And
I know lawn darts had to be around like as far back as like the 70s. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, it was. That's for sure because I played it. So yeah.
Yeah, lawn darts has been around forever. But testicle toss is actually newer than I thought it was. So from what they can gather, testicle toss was created in Pennsylvania and was started around somewhere in the late 90s. Because it wasn't even a patented game until 2002.
What the fuck is testicle toss?
So it's kind of like, it's got the same like concept as cornhole, except for it's like this PVC pipe and there's like 3 levels. And then what you got 3, like with cornhole, you got 3 bags.
You talking about the thing with the ball in the end?
Yeah.
You toss it?
Yes.
It's called testicle toss?
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. The two golf
I didn't
balls
know
with
what
the
it. I know
string.
exact. No, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's called testicle toss.
That's
So
not
now you know why the lawn dart could have been a possibility of how that would happen. I mean,
Yeah, it's testicle toss, which I
It's
love.
got to have a different name because I think
It's got lots of names. There was lots of names for it. So hold on. Let's look here. So I looked it up earlier, but I done forgot. Let me see. I just always it was introduced to me as
ladder toss.
Okay, ladder toss is one of the names.
Okay.
Let's see. Lasso golf, Norwegian golf, North Dakota golf, dangle ball.
Balls a dangling. That's my favorite. Balls a dangling.
Balls on bars, hillbilly golf, testicle toss, balls dangling.
Balls a dangling.
Oh shit! I'm dying. Yeah. So testicle toss. I kind of feel like cornhole was like a derivative of testicle toss because it's got basically the same rules. Only testicle toss had 3 bars. The bottom bar was 3 points. The middle bar was 2 points. And the top bar was 1 point. And obviously, if your opponent, you had 2 people on each side. You know, my teammate was across from me, and then the other side was the other one. Well, if I'm going against them and I go and I, just like in cornhole, say you hit the bar that's got 3 points. And then if she was against me and on the other side and she threw and wrapped it around the 3 points, then both points X'd out. So it's just like fucking cornhole, only on this ladder contraption. So basically kind of the same thing. See, Brenda's played. I used to play all the time.
But she knows it is ladder balls. I'm sure she didn't know it is testicle ball.
Yeah, down here we call, like I said, when it was introduced to me, it was called testicle toss. That's what we called it.
Balls of dang.
And anytime that we had a party, Mom and her ex-husband Ken would get the fucking testicle toss out, and we'd sit there and play that shit for hours and hours and hours. Like, I don't know how much time we spent fucking playing that damn game.
Oh boy.
And it got so hard because everybody got so good at it because we played it so fucking often that it would take like 4 to 5 hours for anybody to fucking win because we were just like X out that point, X out that point, that point, that point, that point, that point, and it just went all fucking day with the same two teams. It got ridiculous.
and that's where you start making up your own
Does
stuff.
that count for this show?
Maybe. I know
It's a game.
they play a damn game outside. Well, it's not really outside, but they always play it outside. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I have no idea how to fucking play it. To me, it looks prehistoric.
What is it?
We call it marbles. It's kind of like Chinese checkers, I guess. Like Trouble and Chinese checkers had a love child.
Okay. You get to bop something?
No,
No.
it's you have like it's this board and you have to like come out of your home. You have to get all the way around the board, or you can take a shortcut through the middle. And
Okay.
you have to get all your people home, and you can either play on teams or I guess single. It's easier to play team. If you play teams, then you play with the person across from you, and then like once one of you gets all of your players home, you can help roll for the other person. So you have marbles and dice and the game board. It gets very intense.
I've never
Very
seen
intense.
When they pulled it out, I'm looking at this thing like I'm trying to solve a fucking mathematic equation of like a nuclear physicist would solve, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And they're all sitting outside playing it, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out the concept of it as they're playing it, and I'm just not. It's not registering on that what they're even fucking doing. I'm just like, board, marbles, dice. What the fuck is this? What are we doing here? I don't understand. They like jump one and take one and put another and jump another, and I'm just like, I don't
Have you ever
even
played
know right now. Cricket.
No.
Cricket.
Yeah, like long.
That's the balls with the hammer and the little metal things, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, have you ever been hit with one of them balls? That's another dangerous sport that nobody thought very much through.
See, I
Big old
never like. I know that you had to like get it into like in between the little metal
post.
thingy, but I didn't know like how to really play or how you scored. What was the score? Like I never had anybody who played it a lot, so I didn't really know much. I'm like, it's like fucking redneck golf. What the hell is this?
Kind of. You just kind of set it up where like you got two double like little, I guess like little goalie things that you hit it through where the post is at, and then you just follow them. You say, hey, that's where you go, that's what you do, and then you go through, and then you go to the other side where the two little posts are at after you've hit them all the way through. But other people can hit your ball out. So like
Yeah,
say,
can't you like knock their ball out of the way?
yeah, and that's fucking annoying because you hit it, and if you don't go through the post, then you don't go again. So the next person hits it, and so you're all trying to get it over there, and then you can get crazy and hit the other person's ball out if they're not even close, and send them across the lawn.
So if you hit their ball, then your turn's over, right?
Yeah, but now they're across the lawn, way far away, and now your next move can go through the post, and you're a step ahead of them because obviously you're in the same step as they are. You're all trying to go through this path and make it to the other end.
So essentially, y'all could be waiting forever just to get through the first post because you're just knocking each other's balls out of the way.
I mean, that's how I played.
Okay. That sounds
We
like
had a big lawn.
that kind of sounds like the a variation of was it? What's the fucking ice thing where they like curling?
Oh,
yeah, you got the little brooms. I'm like,
Not even close.
come here, broom boy. Because you got to
You
get
ain't
on.
sitting there on the lawn, like brushing the lawn.
Yeah, you got to like fucking do whatever. Damn it, I can't block that shit.
it's
Ugh.
Twitch.
Oh, it's on Twitch. Oh, never mind. Okay. Anyways, yeah, like curling was always very strange to me, which they kind of had a variation of it that you could play drunk at bar. Because isn't like shuffleboard sort of kind of like curling a little bit? Because
But
I mean,
not
it's
on
got
ice.
it's got the sand, and then you fucking send your little thing sliding across. It's got the 3, 2, 1. You can knock yourselves out and shit.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, a lot of the places I take care of at work actually have their own, in game rooms and stuff. And I remember walking up to the shuffleboard thing for the first time, and I'm like, "What in the hell is that? Why is there sand everywhere?" And I'm like, "Okay, and I didn't know how. I didn't have a fuck clue what the hell it was, and I put it on the table and slid it. I was like, "Okay, this is interesting." And then I had to like Google what the fuck this damn game was because I didn't have a clue.
It's a fun game. So is air hockey. Man, I used to
Yeah.
do air
Yeah, I
hockey.
like air
Love
hockey.
air hockey.
I had a friend in school that had one, and we used to play it all the time, and we got pretty crazy. It got very competitive in there.
I think the new one that my family kind of got on was, and I know we talked about this in a podcast earlier, but was Pop Darts.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people are like, "What the hell are Pop Darts?" And I'm like, it's like the safest fucking game for like kids to pick up
Yeah.
because it's literally like they're rubber, and you got 2 suction cups on each side. And it's a dart, but with like suction cups. So you set up this table. It's like a dry erase table. You put it down, and then you take a target. It's like a little orange target. You put it wherever you want on the table, and then it's got a suction cup on top of the target. So, and then you've got these point systems. So you got like 3, 2, 1. Obviously, the closer to the target you get, that's 3. And then if you back it up, I think it's if you actually get on the target. So if you throw it and it's got to stick in order to count points. So if it sticks and it's touching the target, it's 3 points. If it's just a little bit further back, it's 2 points. And then anywhere else on the table, if you stick, it's 1 point. So, but if you hit that suction cup on top of the target and you can actually get it to land and stick, then it's 5 points. But as you're throwing, just like in cornhole or testicle toss, if you get close to their dart, it X's their points out and yours. So if you land on 2 points and I land on 2 points, neither one of us get points. It's just cleared out.
Yeah, that's what makes it take longer.
But I mean, it was apparently created like last year, I think, by a bunch of college students who came up with it and got fucking rich off of it and were able to like just quit and just chill at home and get drunk and play pop darts all day. And it's relatively cheap. I think you could buy a set for like $20-$30. You can buy a set. Now you do gotta like go buy you, because we used one of those like plastic like fucking tables you have at like family reunions, those plastic fucking fold out tables. And then we bought a cheap ass eraser board from fucking Home Depot, just a sheet of it, not like done up, but just a sheet, laid it on top of it, fucking done. There's your damn table. And I think that costed, 30. So altogether, maybe like $50-$60, and you've got it. Now I know growing up, one of our other favorite games, and I wish my parents still had. I wish they'd put it back up on the pool they have now. But one of our old pools that my parents had at their house, it had basketball goals, and we would literally play fucking horse and like water basketball. To me, water basketball was like one of my favorite things, because I'm like, I'm a big fucking clumsy white boy and I can't fucking dribble to save my soul. So water basketball, I don't have to dribble. I can just walk around and maneuver and shoot.
Well, you like the water. I used to love the water too. All kinds of water games. I loved playing all of them. We made up our own.
Now they've got like water cornhole and water beer pong. Could you imagine okay, so is there a way, if you're playing like pool beer pong?
Yes.
Is there a way to like keep the table still, or are you just supposed to like let them float around? Is that part of like the difficulty? Like that's you just let the table float around?
I just wouldn't want to drink what was in that cup. I think I would want the cup that I'm drinking on the outside of the pool, because what if there's people in the pool? Like, what if there's kids in the pool and they're jumping around? That cup is full of freaking chlorinated water.
That's why you play with water.
See, we always put water in it when we played, and then we would just like take a drink or whatever. We didn't.
Like, that will not work.
Yeah, we didn't ever do that, because I'm like, bless you.
Oh God. Where's Deanna?
There's one. She actually did one when the intro credits were going, so technically it's 2.
Way to bust me out.
Oh, he told on you.
She did.
I'm gonna get you.
I know. It's okay. So what was one of your favorites growing up?
I played so many. That's the problem. I was telling you earlier about my ridiculous game that me and my aunts used to play in the water, which was just taking the smallest little piece of twig or hay or toothpick and putting it at the bottom of the pool, and then everybody getting out of the pool and looking at it, just waiting for this little piece of stick to come floating up. It's a lot more difficult than you think it is. We used to call it the soy sauce game. That's just what we named it. And you had to yell soy sauce as you jumped into the pool to get your little pig. So
That is the strangest thing I've ever heard of.
I think we were about 10 when we made that game. But it was a fun game. We had a good time. That was the magical part of it. But think about it. Think about all the little floating devices that the kids have now. From putting it at the
Yeah.
bottom of the pool, all of those sticks that used to be thrown. Those used to be
Yeah.
real sticks, just so everybody knows. Those weren't made back in the day. You know,
No.
so
Well, I
you-
mean, I was pretty young when those first came out because I think the first time I seen those, and we used them at my grandparents' pool because they had a pool at a deep end. I mean, it was deep, deep. And we'd dive down and see, you know, how many you could get in, you know, one fell swoop. And, you know, one person would go collect as many as you could. That was your point. You throw them back in. And then the next person would go and you just see, you know, who could get the most in one shot without coming up. So we did do that, but we did like a lot of stupid shit, like really stupid shit. Like
Yeah.
shit like get you fucking hurt. I can tell you the worst I ever got hurt was playing front yard football. Was the worst. we still tackled. Like without pads, without everything, we tackled. We wore jerseys and got out there and did our shit. So every Sunday before the games started, we'd go to our friend Jason's house and we play front yard football. It was like 10 of us. We'd do like 5-on-5. So the hard part about it was his house was on a hill. So it was angled. So the front yard is fucking angled to begin with. So it's already
every time those hills.
all right, hard. So we would fight over who went downhill and who went uphill because nobody wanted to go uphill. Everybody wanted to go downhill. But the problem was is if you fail and got tackled, sometimes it can be pretty bad. It was very easy to
Like a long ways downhill.
running downhill. So, and the worst thing is how we had the end zones put. There was like his driveway was one end zone, which was uphill. And then the other one going into the neighbor's yard was the other end zone. But in between the 2 yards were these cinder block bricks. So you had to make sure that you jumped over the cinder blocks in order to get it. Now, there's plenty of us that tripped over those and like got scraped up a little bit on the cinder blocks. There's no like massive injuries until, and I'll never forget it. It was Thanksgiving Day. And my buddy Jason, his parents and his family, and you're going to hate this, they were huge Dallas Cowboys fans. Huge Cowboys fans. So here I am. At the time, this is obviously before the Jaguars were created. I was, Patriots fan. So I'm like the lone Patriots fan. And then there's like a couple of kids who were Eagles fans. And then we had one kid that Matt, I remember his name was Matt. He was a big Colts fan. So we're all out there in our jerseys. We're fucking playing. And I'll never forget, I was running, and I was always a wide receiver. So I fucking caught it, and I'm running. And my buddy Andrew grabs the back of my fucking shirt. And I'm still just going as hard as I can. He's pulling back. And I'm going and going. Well, he loses grip. And as soon as he lost grip with my forward force going downhill, I go flying. I'm wee! And I go straight into these fucking bushes. Bah! Well, one of the sticks went through my face. Not in it, through it. Like inside my fucking mouth, through my cheek. And I pulled back and I fell down. I covered my face for a minute. I'm fighting tears. I think I was...
Yeah, that might have hurt a little bit.
I was probably about 11 or 12 years old. And I'm holding my face. And I get up. I'm like, I'm okay. And I'm wiping the tears away. I'm like, I'm okay. Let's play. So I walk back up. I get ready to go. And everybody's just sitting there staring at me at this point. And I remember Jason walking up to me. He's like, I don't think you could play anymore. I was like, why?
Yeah,
and I look out, there's just blood all over the front of my jersey, all down my pants. I could taste the blood at this point. And he was like, your face looks like shattered glass. And I'm like, at this point, I'm freaking out because all the other kids are.
I feel like shattered glass.
No, I'm freaking out because I'm like, they're looking at me like I got like 10 heads and I'm from fucking Mars. And so Jason's like, come on, man, we got to go into my parents. And I go in there and his dad comes in there. And he's like, God dang. He's throwing a fit. Now I'm panicking even more. And I turn around and I look in the mirror and I collapse. Boom, fucking pass out. I seen stars. The minute I seen it, I seen stars when I hit the ground. That'd take me to the hospital. When they got it all cleaned out, there's actually a stick still stuck under the layers of my skin. Huh?
Can you still feel it?
No, they took it out and put it in a little jar. My mom has the jar somewhere at her house to this day. This little stick.
I have a story about a stick. And my stick is still in my hand.
Ooh.
So this one time, I was twirling around the stick of the end of a broom. Well, back in the day, there were different kind of brooms. They were like real, like the wooden ones.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that like you can get hurt on those things.
Right.
So we were sword fighting, right? And a huge sliver went off and went through my hand right here. And I had a big old stick sticking out my hand. So we thought we took it out, but it didn't. And you can actually still feel it. I did go to the doctor when I was a kid. They took me and did the x-rays. And they told me because I was playing sports during the time I was getting ready to go play volleyball, that it would be better for me to leave it in there than to take it out because of where it was. And it would have delayed me being able to play volleyball. So I just left it in there.
Well, all right.
Yeah, and you can feel it.
I don't think that was a good idea.
It's fine. It don't do nothing.
Let's say as long as it's not bothering her.
I played all kinds of
They
sports.
wouldn't have said leave it in any if it wouldn't matter.
That is a terrible idea.
It worked just fine.
Okay. Well, on that note, we'll be right back. We're going to take a very short commercial break, and we'll be right back with more dangerous sports we played when we were kids.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
So the ladies will be back next Tuesday night with a new guest host.
Mm-hmm.
There'll now be 4 of them. Wait, 4? That's right. Yeah, 4. Wait a minute. Can I count right here? Yeah, 4.
You need hands? Some more fingers?
We'll be back. There'll be a new co-host on there. Caffeine Injection will be starting next Thursday, so that's coming. This weekend, we've got Hellfire Lounge coming for the first time, so be ready for all those when they start. So I think probably one of the most I mean, you wouldn't think front yard football as being dangerous, but obviously things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Things can happen. Probably one of the worst ones that we played is me and my brother. It was like a version of backyard stickball, but it was what we called a can ball. And at the time, you know, we couldn't really afford the, nice fancy, stuff like an actual baseball bat and balls and stuff. So we took a wooden broomstick and took a Coca-Cola can and would crush it and then throw it and put a spin on it. And you'd think, God, how we got good at it. Like, we got really fucking good at it. It was, you really didn't know what was going to happen because being a flat surface that's crushed, sometimes it would curve. And we could actually hit it further than you think. Like, I mean, it wasn't a big distance, but we did it in the backyard towards a fence. If it went over the fence, it was a home run, whatever. Didn't happen very often, but there was times that we both, would get home runs. But usually it would catch and do some weird curve. But if you went to catch that damn thing after beating the shit out of it a bunch of times, it'd start to get sharp edges. So there's a lot of times we'd reach up, especially if you hit a line drive, you got this can coming at you like a fucking buzzsaw, and you reach up and grab it, and it's got, aluminum metal that's now jagged and sharp. It cut the fuck out of us. I mean, we had cuts all over our arms. One time my brother hit me right across the face and just gashed me all. I mean, they weren't bad, like nothing to go get stitches or go to the hospital, but we bled. We got some pretty good little cuts and scrapes and gouges from it, and it was more dangerous than what we thought. And, at that time, parents were just like, whatever, as long as you don't fucking amputate a limb, you're good.
Right.
But, I had a close call one time because I got caught right in the fucking eye and got cut open pretty good. And my mother's like, do you realize what that could have done if it actually would have hit you in your fucking eyeball? And we're like, yeah. Okay, we see your point. So at that point, we're like, all right, no more can ball. Can ball's now dead. But we probably played that can ball for like 2 years. Solid.
Hey.
Like, that was our favorite fucking backyard game to play for the longest time. Now, shit got real bad when my parents got us a trampoline. That was the worst idea ever. Because I can't tell you how many times we got hurt pretty bad on a fucking trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first time we created a game it was like trampoline skateboarding combined. So the trampoline was real close to the house. We'd scale the tree, get on the roof. And we had this weird roof that was it wasn't like a deep slant. It was a real gradual slant. And it was over the area of the house that we had this like sunroom inside the house. It was like a little sitting room.
Yeah.
So we get on top of the roof and we took the trucks and the wheels off of the board. So it was just the board. That's it. So we'd run and we'd jump off the roof of the house and do flips and twists, and you had to land it. And then once you bounced up, you had to still control it until you completely stop. And then you landed it and you got so many, we'd score each other, 0 through 10. All this shit. So I grew up with this little girl from, I knew her before kindergarten. So she came over one day, and I think we were in the 5th or 6th grade, and we were playing, and she decided, for the longest time, she just sat there and watched. Well, then she decided she was going to get ballsy, and she was going to do it. Okay. So I handed her the skateboard. So she goes, she runs, she takes off, she does this damn front flip, and she had it. Well, as soon as she hit and it bounced her up, she lost grip of the skateboard. It goes flying up. Now, she was a teeny tiny little thing, like tiny, skinny, maybe like 60 pounds fucking soaking wet. She hits that trampoline, and here comes that fucking board. She bounces back up with her momentum, and the skateboard coming down clips her right smack in the fucking wrist that snapped her wrist.
Damn.
Broke it. I thought my mom was going to kill me. I thought I was done. She was gonna wear my ass out with that belt. Now they knew that me and my brother did it all the time, and nobody said shit about it. But when somebody finally got hurt, then it became a whole new situation. And Mom's like, no more.
Yeah, but back then, not everybody got all like, ooh, I'm going to go and getting all crazy. Like, kids are going to do things. We did crazy stuff all the time.
Yeah. All the fucking time. Now, if I would have thought about it now, I was sitting there. I can't remember who I was talking to the other day. It was another guy I went to school with who did that trampoline boarding with us. And he was like, you know, if I would have thought about it now, he's like, we could have wrapped that bitch in foam. He's like, we could have like glued it down and put foam on it to at least make it a little bit more protected to where it wasn't just a wooden board coming and fucking flying at you if you fucking lost grip of it. Because there was a couple times we did get a little hurt. I mean, we got bruises from it and it hit us in the back or check us in the rib cage, especially if we hit and we lost it under our feet and it'd flip up and hit us under our armpit and shit. And yeah, it got pretty gnarly.
Did you ever put a sprinkler thing underneath a trampoline and put soap on top of the trampoline and see how long you can stay on that bitch?
Yep.
Oh, we got one was way worse. Way worse. We upped that factor. So me and my brother decided that we wanted to do a game and make something similar to whitewater rafting. So what we did is we took it's kind of like trampoline, whitewater rafting, and bull riding all in one. So we took a plastic swimming pool, like one of those kiddie pools.
Okay.
And we put it on the trampoline. And then took a water hose, stuck the water hose in it with it going. And you'd sit in the pool with this thing filling up with water. You grab the sides and everybody start jumping you. And you had to see how long you could fucking hold on.
I highly suggest that you do not put in a trampoline at your house.
So obviously, as it's getting heavier, you're shooting up higher. So one day, and I don't know how the hell I did not get hurt. We'd already been playing it for a couple of hours. And I got real good at it. And I'm sitting there going, well, at this point, because we run in the water for so long, the trampoline, because it's on a hill and they had one side sunk in a little bit, the grass and the ground got so fucking saturated with water after like days and days and days of us doing this and running the water hose forever, it started to sink and go crooked again. So as we're jumping, the pool would start going further and further to the side. Well, this one day they jumped. We had one of my friends come over from playing Little League football. He's a lineman, big kid. I mean, he's big old boy. He's probably at 6th grade. He was probably 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", probably a good 250, 275. That first fucking bounce, I launch up in the air higher than I'd ever fucking went before. It scared me. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. And as I'm going down, instead of bouncing again, they bounced it wrong. So when the trampoline came up, I hit at the same time and it just slid and went right off the edge and went right through our phone. We had a little picnic, like a kid's picnic table, one of those little small, like Tyco, like I went straight through that goddamn picnic table like fucking WWE. Right through it. Wood shoots up everywhere. I slam into the fucking chain link fence and I'm just sitting there laughing. And everybody just stopped, just dead stop. My mom comes out there. She shuts off the water hose. She just looks at me. She's like, never again. Like, okay. All right. No more trampoline whitewater rafting. Gotcha.
We did do the what is it? Slip and slide baseball. We did play that.
Slip and slide back. Okay, you're gonna have to You're gonna have to tell me about that.
Slipping sides, going down first, going down second, going down third, and going down home. You have a whole whoop, 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 whoop thingy. Okay, you have your pitcher that has a little wiffle ball because you use the wiffle ball bat because you don't want to hit it that far because it would take forever, right? And you're all in bathing suits. So you hit that thing and you try to make it to first, second, third, and all that. It's great.
But you gotta slide.
All you gotta do is slide. But you gotta get to the base.
Okay. Okay.
Now add that with a few drinks.
Wait a minute. You did this shit as an adult?
I did it both. It was fun.
Okay.
I was in an area where it was hot all the time. So all of our like sports had some kind of water-based
Water,
theme
yeah.
in it. If we weren't on the river or at the lake, we were hooking up a water hose and doing something.
I got you. So we, again, it got to where me and my brother got a little older. Still had the trampoline. We had this trampoline forever. How the hell this trampoline survived so many years? I don't know, because we had the same trampoline for multiple years until we lost it in a tornado. Tornado took that motherfucker out. It was never even found. Don't even know where the hell it went, but it went somewhere. Just nowhere near.
Free pick.
So we moved and got a house closer to the schools that we were going to. And I think it was the summer in between 6th grade and 7th grade. I was like 12 years old. At this point, me and my brother were really big wrestling fans. So we were into the WWE. You know, it was the time of Undertaker, Kane, Stone Cold Steve Austin, all that shit. So we decided we were going to do wrestling on a trampoline. That's safe enough.
I did that. Yeah, I get it.
So we had a big tree in the backyard, in this new backyard. So we scooted it up. Well, there's a branch that you could actually get on that wasn't super tall that you could actually get up from the trampoline. We used to get in that branch and jump off the branch and jump onto there. Well, we turned it into like a fucking goddamn ladder match. So we get on top of that branch and do like flying elbows down off of that shit.
You're all pulling out stuff.
So we get this bright idea. My brother gets up there and I jump up there, and he didn't even realize that I had jumped up there. He thought I was still down. I got up there and I grabbed his ass and I fucking picked him up and suplexed him off the fucking branch. And of course, as we both hit, he goes, pew, flying up, and he slams his back into that branch. And I'm just like, oh shit. And he drops and he's screaming. I mean, blood curdling, screaming at the top of his fucking lungs. I'm like, I done broke this motherfucker's back. Oh my God. Dude, I was like, I'm going to get beat. I'm going to get beat within this in my life. They're gonna put me up for adoption. I'm freaking the fuck out. Oh, I did. I got my ass whooped. I mean, whoop, leather belt, fucking bare ass, got my ass tore up by my damn parents for that, which I deserved it. I did deserve it because I could have hurt him really fucking bad, like really bad.
Just don't think about those things during that time, though. You're just playing and having a good time. I've done so many stupid things playing sports, and I love sports. I think every person that's done sports has done something extremely stupid.
Oh, yeah. You bet your ass on that one. So before we get into the rest of it, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Hellfire Lounge, Saturday.
Woo!
Don't miss it. It's only twice a month, so don't fucking miss it. Anyways, I know you and your brother had to do some stupid shit playing some type of backyard sport.
Well, we grew up really like riding four-wheelers and shit. We'd play hide and go seek on four-wheelers, or we'd race.
Oh, I know.
We had four-wheelers, go-karts, golf carts. We had a gas-powered golf cart. That bitch would fly. I mean, I'd wrecked it a few times, but I never actually like broke anything or was hurt enough to go to the hospital. And when I was 9, I was also driving a truck around the fucking farm. Yeah.
So that actually reminds me of a story. When we were much older, I think I was probably about 14 or 15, out on my grandpa's farm out in Luther, Oklahoma. He had four-wheelers. Now, I never said what actually happened. So, end game, I got my nose broken, and I'm lucky that I didn't break my jaw.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a friend over, and this friend had a little brother that was the same age as my brother. So we'd always go, and like my grandfather had a big ass farm. It was like 120 acres of land. It was a lot of land, a lot of places to ride. I mean, at that point, they'd let us go out with fucking shotguns at that age and go fucking hunting and shit. So, I mean, there was times we're rolling around with shotguns and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular day, we're just out joyriding, having a good time. We had 2 4-wheelers, so we'd all like take turns, riding with each other, driving, whatever. So I don't know what gave us this grand idea that this would be a fantastic idea to do. And I don't even know what, I think we used PVC pipe. So there's these big, long PVC pipes that had a blunted end. So we decide on 4-wheelers that we're going to joust.
Oh my God, I knew that was coming. As soon as I heard PVC pipe, I was like, oh shit.
We thought this was a fantastic idea.
Oh, I do.
That sounds very fantastic.
But the idea was like, we're going to do it safe. You don't hit the body. You got to try to knock the other one's, weapon out of their hand. So we're going to do it facing each other, try to hit the weapon and knock it out. Nothing should happen. And we're speeding at each other, God knows how fast, on fucking ATVs. So we're going, we go. My buddy's fucking PVC pipe hits the top of mine, skids, and boom, right smack in my fucking face. It knocked me clear off the fucking back onto there. And I remember cough, and then blood just fucking pouring out fucking everywhere. It was so bad. And I remember walking up to the barn, my grandpa standing there. He's like, "What'd you do?" And I was like, I knew if I told him that we did something like that, I'd be in so much fucking trouble.
You're like, I don't know.
I was like, well, we were riding on the edge of this hill, and the hill, we lost our grip, and we went flying down the hill, and my buddy was on the back, and he fell on me and pushed my face into the handlebars. He bought it.
It's a good excuse.
Oh, it took us forever to come up with it. Like the whole ride back.
Especially if growing up riding forward.
Get your story straight. Get your story straight.
It was a pretty far ride to get back to the farmhouse. So like we had a good 15 minutes of me bleeding profusely everywhere, and my buddy was driving, and I'm holding my fucking face, and it hurts so bad. And I'm just like, we have to come up with a story that's not that. Because you gotta think of PVC pipe that hit me was covered in blood. It splattered the minute it hit me. So we went and took the PVC pipes and threw them down in this pond that was on the back end.
I see evidence. That's like us playing bottle rocket tag and getting a whole field on fire one time.
What?
But we didn't do that. I didn't do that. Wasn't me.
So what was your story?
Oh, we used to take a rope and tie a kiddie pool to the back of the floor and put kids in it.
We used to do that too.
And we tried
Did
to
you guys do
swing.
it by the creek too? We used to do it by the creek.
Yeah.
That was not a
That's
good
a
idea.
time right there, Kitty. I've done that, Kitty. That's fun. Did you guys do the putting a lawn chair on the back of the golf cart too?
No.
That was fun. That's like riding a bucking bronco, but it's like a bucking like golf cart. You just gotta take some bungee cords on the top because if you have a top to it, right? So you're up on the top,
Oh my.
and then bloop, they go falling. Bloop.
I feel like that's what it would be to ride in the seats that Dad put in the back of the Gator.
Now, we did do something similar to that, but we did it in the winter. So one of my buddies, his dad was loaded rich. I don't know. He was some type of doctor. And he had this big ass mansion out in the middle of nowhere, fucking Oklahoma. And he had this farmland. It was pretty flat. But I remember they had these, I don't know if they were like dune buggies or whatever the hell they were, but they were built for a winter environment. Like they could get traction and haul ass in snow. So once again, we would take our skateboards and take the trucks and wheels off of them and grab a rope, tie it, and we would fucking ski behind these things, hauling ass, and we're holding on like we're fucking water skiing. So one day, and luckily I was in the passenger seat of this little dune buggy. It wasn't my turn. So we're hauling ass, and my buddy's cousin was in from out of town. So we're hauling ass. Well, all of a sudden, these fucking deer come out of nowhere. He slams on the fucking brakes on this thing. Well, he forgets about his cousin that's directly behind us. Goes right into the fucking back of it. He broke his arm, his collarbone, his clavicle, his jaw, and his fucking like femur. I mean, fucked up. Fucked him up. I've never heard somebody scream so loud in my entire fucking life. Like I thought he was gonna die. Like I thought he was fucking dead.
Well, he could have, but he survived.
So we didn't know what to do. So we ended up taking the rope and tying it to the skateboards, and we rolled him on a skateboard and pulled him behind it on a fucking stretcher. And he's screaming the entire, I mean, just screaming.
I'm sure he was.
It was so bad. I mean, he hit that fucking thing so hard that it probably pushed that fucking vehicle up like 2 feet. He hit that damn thing so hard. Because, I mean, we were hauling ass. Like, we weren't going slow. We were going pretty fast. And now to think about it, it's like, damn, what if he would have hit a rock and, like, fucking that skateboard would have went out from underneath him and he fucking hit that ground being pulled behind us. I was like, granted, we were thinking, oh, it's snow. It's going to be okay. What's the worst that could happen? It fucking happened, all right.
That's like us jumping off the bridges into the river and off the cliffs.
Oh, no. My parents did that, but
We did it all the time. That was the thing to do.
I mean, we used to jump off the dock, like, into the river, not the fucking bridge, no.
So we had something similar. There was a lake that we would used to go to every once in a while in the summer and go swimming. So obviously we're a landlocked state, so all we had was lakes and ponds to swim in, unless you had a swimming pool. Well, this one lake had a rope that you could swing, and it was like on a hill, and you haul ass, hold on, and then do backflips and shit into the water.
Mm-hmm.
So I was scared. I was really scared. I was probably like 7, 8 years old. I was terrified. You couldn't even get me on a roller coaster. You couldn't pay me to get on a roller coaster. I was terrified of fucking heights. Petrified. I'm like, hell no, I am not doing that. No. Right about the time all these girls come running up. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to show off. I'm going to do this.
How you doing it?
So my buddy, he'd been doing it. he decided it's his turn. He goes running. Of course, he wants to show off for the girls too, because there's a bunch of little girls that both me and him had crushes on that were there. So he goes and he flips out. Now there's like a bar, or not like a bar, but there's like a hoop, like just a round handle. So he goes to do a backflip. I don't know how the fuck this happened, but his foot went into the ring and got caught. And he suspended and flew down and slammed right into that fucking hill.
Damn.
And I was like, nope.
Some bad.
I went sit back down on my towel. I was like, nope. Luckily, he didn't get the worst thing he got is he got some basically road rash, but he didn't break nothing. He didn't get in major, serious injury or anything like he could have. Like, I mean, he could have really got hurt real bad on that, but he lucked out. And most of that hill was like they laid out a bunch of sand down that hill. So I think there's just enough sand that it wasn't as bad as what it looked, because it looked way worse than what it was. Because we're like, great, he's probably dislocated his leg. His leg's broke. He probably broke his fucking shoulder. God knows he's probably got a concussion. Nope. He just got a bunch of fucking road rash down his fucking back from it, and that was it. But I was like, that ended that. Like, any ounce of like fucking like testosterone and everything I had, like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ace it. Yep. That ended that right then and there.
I wouldn't have done it either.
I'm kind of glad it happened to him and not me, because I probably would have wiped out.
You're just gonna let go. I was always scared to do it too, but when I finally did it, you're like, all right.
Yeah, I didn't trust myself enough.
It was more dangerous landing in the river that we were at than it was to like actually do what we were doing. The Colorado River is not like the all roses. You just like, nice, cool, and calm. You'd be like a mile down the river by the time you're done.
I think the last story I got, how you get on the board, like it's like the skiing, but I think it's called like wakeboarding or something. I was with some friends. Their parents had a boat, and all the kids wakeboarded. Like that was the big water sport in Oklahoma, was wakeboarding. So I'm like, I'm gonna try this. They're like, all right, you just stand on the board, and the board's up on a dock, and the boat takes off, and you lean back, and it goes off the dock and then into the water, and then when waves come up, off the wake, you jump the wave.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm just going to do this. And they were just trying to teach me how to just land and stay up. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. So I go, and as soon as it takes off and it jerks, I went, boop! It fucking hit my ass and got drugged down that damn thing, got road rash all down my fucking back and I thought that I had it, and they were like, you should probably wear like a t-shirt or something when you're doing it, just in case you fall, and getting off the dock is the hardest thing. Yeah, I didn't listen. I thought I fucking knew everything at 15 years old, and I got that fucking sucked. That was like sandpaper being right down my fucking back.
So the things we do in summertime sports.
I know. Mm-hmm. So y'all watching, just don't.
Yeah. This is a show on what not to do.
Yeah. So on that, we are out of here. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Don't forget, Sluts for Smut comes back Tuesday nights. Us on Wednesdays. Join us for Buzzkill Cinema tomorrow night. We've got From Beyond. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's on Tubi. It's free. Saturday, got Hellfire Lounge. Until then, we love you guys. Have a fantastic night.
Bye.